Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jodo Jake. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 7 of Cards and Coffee, and I have a special guest, my first guest on Cards and Coffee. This is Jason, aka Slowdown. Thank you. Jason, introduce yourself.
Hello, world. My name is Jason. I am a friend of Jake's, just a side character in his story.
No,
But
oh, stop. I'm a side character in your story. Let's be real. You're traveling.
you've given me your autograph.
Okay. Well, that's probably the only autograph I've given aside from maybe Vincent, honestly.
No, now Quilly's gonna end up in the
Oh,
comments. He's
yes.
got the
Oh, the
auto card. Yeah,
151. Yeah,
one
the
of one.
binder. I love that. Well, what are you drinking today?
It's called a Tokyo. It's
Tokyo,
a
yeah.
espresso, milk, brown sugar.
Oh, yes, it's definitely sweet. Speaking of, we got Dragonite illustrated on my coffee today. Shout out to the barista that did this. Caroline, you're insane. I'm drinking the same thing as you, but decaf. People have been giving me shit for drinking decaf, and it's only because I've already had normal coffee that day. So I'm on my third cup today.
It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I know.
That's like if you were to give someone shit for drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, yeah.
Same energy.
I think it's mostly that they think that I have bad tasting coffee if I'm drinking decaf, but it's actually the opposite. I can take you to the best coffee shops. I mean, we've been to some good coffee shops, right? So Jason and I, we've been friends now for our first interaction was at the
At a card show.
Cow Palace.
Yeah.
I bought
No. It was at SF card show.
Was it
We were
SF
like
Card
closer
Show?
to the back.
Was it really? I could have sworn
You were
that.
wearing something pretty cool, and I was like, "Hey, man, nice, blah blah blah."
Yes, but I didn't.
It was
a very short
brief,
interaction,
yeah.
right?
It wasn't like official introduction.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it was brief. I think I remember. That's the one right off of 101, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first like real like okay, we're friends now was I actually bought something from you. And that was the McDonald's Pikachu from I think 2002, 2003.
2002
You'll know it
McDonald's
better than I
E-Pack
do.
Pikachu.
Yep.
So that was the first, and the other time wasn't too far after. It wasn't even like you're buying it off of me. It was just I was buying it on behalf of you. PSA 10 McDonald's Squirtle for $400.
Yes, sir.
There was
Yeah.
a time when that card was $400.
Let's talk about those cards because it's kind of crazy where and for those people that don't know, we'll probably get into this, but Jason travels to Japan how much out of the year? How often would you say?
In a year, last year and this year, so like we averaged it out somewhere between 3 to 4 months per year in Japan, and it's
Like-
back and forth.
okay.
It's not continuous.
And you rent out there, is that my understanding?
I rent a short-term apartment,
Okay.
and I just leave it empty when I'm not there. So there's a little bit more responsibility with that as opposed to renting a hotel or an Airbnb every time where you just like come and go. But ultimately, it was just more convenient for me to leave belongings there and travel light. And it also costs a little bit less to just pay for it for a full year rather than renting like a more premium option.
Got it. Like Airbnbs and
Yeah.
so forth. So you travel to Japan, you source a lot of Japanese cards while you're out there. And I'm sure those McDonald's cards were probably sourced while you were out there. Knowing that you really just focus on the Japanese side, specifically vintage, I would say, and then there's some modern in there here and there, but it's typically like the exclusive promos. That's your lane, that's your pocket, from my understanding. And if you've ever seen Jason vending at a show, this is coming from someone that goes to a lot of shows. His booth stands out. It doesn't look like you're looking at everything else that you see at the show. Modern alt arts, English illustration rares, WotC era English. Like it's a lot of really niche Japanese stuff and a lot of CoroCoro Mews.
Yeah,
Talk about the CoroCoro Mew, and we'll go back to the McDonald's promos.
I think the CoroCoro Mew is a 10 out of 10 card. It's got everything. It's got a popular character. It has history. It's the first Shining card. It has condition rarity. It's a Japanese exclusive. And it's part of like the thematic identity of Shinings as a concept. So yeah, I think it just has it all, and it's a very accessible card too.
It was for the longest
Yeah,
time, and
I
it
guess until recently.
not so
Yeah.
recently. With everything else, I would probably have to say too. But how was the CoroCoro Mew released? Do you know how that card was initially released?
Yeah, it was part of the CoroCoro magazine, and that's just a publication that publishes like news and tips on like things that are Pokemon related as part of it as a brand. And they would do promo cards with each like version of the magazine. So the Mew is just one type of card that would be released. And over time, and even they still do CoroCoro promos pretty recently for Modern,
Yep.
but they will do exclusive artworks, different concepts, et cetera, et cetera. That's just like the quick and dirty
Yeah,
on
yeah.
like the release.
And CoroCoro, am I remembering this correctly? But are the trainer mags a part of the CoroCoro mag?
That's a good question. I'd have to fact check myself
Okay,
on that.
because I've been thinking about those cards a lot lately, and most of them are non-hollow, but they're exclusive arts.
Yeah.
I think they're all low pop.
I
from
want to
my
lean. I
understanding.
want to. If I had to guess, it would be no. They're not
Yeah,
associated with.
CoroCoro.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh well, those have been on my mind. I'll pop some on screen at some point, but those are fantastic. You have the Eevees, you have the first stage, yeah, War Turtle, Charmeleon, and I believe is it Ivysaur?
Yeah.
Some of the trainer mag cards.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've done like different versions of those like mid-tier starters, and then they'll do like the evolutions, like the Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, the Dragonite line.
Dragonite
I
line.
especially love that one.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites too, as well. Well, while we're venturing into Japanese exclusives, let's talk about the McDonald's promos from that era. They were given out part of Happy Meals, from my understanding.
Yeah, it was a pack.
Yeah,
You're guaranteed. It was actually a slightly bigger set. You could even consider it a mini set.
Yeah.
I think they're out of 18, and each pack you are guaranteed one of the hollows. So there's 6 hollows, 18 cards, hollow energies. I love those.
That
The hollow energies
still
have
need
multiple swirls.
they do.
Yeah.
They look really nice.
So it's actually like a mini set compared to like what we would get probably in more recent times.
Yeah, I think what comes to mind is Celebrations McDonald's set. You had like all of the original, every single starter, I think, in non-hollow and hollow, and that happened during the pandemic. That was it. Thinking about the new Burger Pikachu, it almost feels like that experience all over again in Japan. How do you feel about that Pikachu card right now?
I actually like it. It's a really cute card. Pikachu and food and objects and promo releases. It's just like hit a button anytime like you need like secondhand hype and demand and craziness. So yeah, I like it as a card. Do I like it as a $21,000 black label?
I was gonna ask you. So that card recently
Obviously
sold for $21,000 in a black label. Was that on a platform or was that private?
I think it was ZNG.
ZNG?
And then ZNG
Shout out to
confirmed
James.
paid. And recently, the PSA 10 prices have followed the
Yep.
black label. So it's just another very, very reactionary period for the masses.
Definitely. And I think it'll probably have a similar trajectory as a Van Gogh, if I'm being honest, just because of its release and how, I don't know, how it was sort of a shock to see how people reacted to that card as they were picking it up. Like McDonald's basically had to put out an announcement that they're shutting it down 2 days early. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Because there was just food waste.
I think they
everywhere.
sold out on the first day.
That's what I'm thinking too. People were doing it in group buys. They were ordering online as well in person. Like they were doing anything and everything to get as many of those packs as possible. And when I saw that, it just like flashed me back to when the Van Gogh was released in Amsterdam, and that museum was just, it looked like a zoo. And as bad of a negative connotation that those cards have, they just continue to go against the grain, and no matter what, they're exclusive Pikachu cards. Pikachu and with food, Pikachu with a silly hat will always be of interest and people there's demand for it. Now, it being a $21,000 black label, the card has been out for what, a month?
Yeah.
Do we expect to see more black labels? Do we?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I thought so too.
All right. I actually disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
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 Okay.
I do not. I've had the similar dialogue with somebody else, so I kind of
Okay.
have just my thoughts already kind of lined up on it. Um, I disagree because I don't think the artwork has the same immediacy that a Van Gogh does. It has the same hype cycle, and I will say the Van Gogh is also something I was wrong about too. So,
Yeah.
like, my disagreement could obviously end up being wrong, and we'll see. But I don't think I think the half art doesn't connect with people as much as something like a Van Gogh does, and this is going to be an extremely easy card to grade as well. Like, this feels like, to me, this feels like $50 to $75 PSA 10 versus like
Yes.
200 plus.
I agree, and I should probably back up a little bit. I won't say that it's gonna have. It's not gonna be at Van Gogh level, but I think that with time, it's going to be a card that's always of interest. I do think that there's more significance with the Van Gogh card. I mean, it's based off of Van Gogh as a painter. It has more of a historical significance than a McDonald's Pikachu. But I agree on the fact that this card is going to be really easy to grade. My friend Yvonne, shout out to Pokeneer, he actually was looking into this and he found that the gem rate was near like 80 to 90 percentile, if I remember correctly, for PSA. And which was weird to hear because I think I was listening to a video from Collect Pokemon and he was talking about how all of the copies he came across had really bad cuts and he thought that this card would be hard to grade, but it seems like that's not the case at all. So I think this card is, it's going to be an easy 10. There's going to be, I want to say it's probably going to have more than the Van Gogh, and it's going to catch up to Van Gogh, if I'm being honest. Like, just knowing how backed up PSA is, I'm afraid to know how many they have sitting in order, just ready to do research and ID.
The only reason why like it's hit, even if we like took the black label price, like just like destroyed it.
Yeah.
The only reason why it was at the prices it was currently at, I think maybe before this most recent black label sale, it was like a $200 PSA 10. The only reason why it hits that price because people are upgrading it at the most expensive level.
Yeah.
Because if you're sending it in at $19 at bulk, like that thing's gonna sit there for 3 months. So
Yeah.
like not only are there a lot of copies out in the open right now,
Yeah.
just sitting at whatever price in PSA 10, but there's so many more copies that people just open and pack, send it to PSA in bulk, and they're gonna come back.
There's going to be a ton, and that's what happened with Prismatic Evolutions. Like, everyone kept I get really frustrated when I see people talk about low pop with ultra modern, and it's only because they paid higher for the tier and there's only been so many graded, but they have such a backlog of that specific card just waiting to be entered into the pop. And we saw that with literally all the evolutions. We've been seeing it with Destin Rivals. It's just like this constant thing where people are calling it low pop for now. It is, sure, but and you close your eyes and blink and there's 100 more added to the pop every day. So with cards of like that high of a pop, where do you see those sorts of cards in a more bearish market? Like, what are your thoughts on high pop cards? Because like there's this people are talking about the fact that low pop cards are like, pop doesn't matter. I've heard a lot of people say pop doesn't matter, but I think it does. It's in tandem with demand, and if there's no demand for a card that's low popped, it's not going to sell. If there's demand for a high pop card, it's going to move. So it really just depends on the fluctuation of the market. I'd just like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, you definitely need, like, high pop is fine, but, and it's like always a big but, if the market can absorb all of that high pop for that specific card. I actually think low pop is also overblown as well. Like it's pretty crazy to me that people have the nerve to say low pop for a PSA 2 or a PSA 1,
Yeah,
especially for like modern cards.
yeah. I actually found out that there's someone on eBay that has figured out how to get PSA ones. Like, because you'd be surprised, there are a lot of people that are trying to get PSA ones, but they end up coming back as twos or threes, and they can't figure out what it was because there is a weird demand for PSA ones. People collect PSA ones. I don't understand it. It's not for me, but there are a lot of collectors that do. And there's a guy on eBay that's figured out what you need to do to make sure you get a PSA one. And
They didn't run the card over properly with their car.
honestly, that's part of it. But this person has figured out that you just need to fold it in a certain pattern in order for it to hit all the points it needs in order to be a PSA one, which is kind of scary. So you'll see
You'll
a
see all these cards that are folded the same way.
same way. It's a Y shape
Like
with a line in the middle. And
that's
you'll
crazy.
yeah, because you're hitting folds on all four edges, and they overlap. So it creates like I don't know how PSA
So
like
they're altering the card.
you heard it first. Altering. That's a whole other topic. How do you feel about like I would like to say new-cert vintage? And I mean like PSA 9s and 10s.
This is something that like I'm ripping directly out of a Pratt MMR or Q&A, but I think he hits it on like I can't emphasize it enough that like new certs are more likely to be altered for like vintage versus old certs. And this is probably where I'm adding on a little bit of color is that old certs are more likely to be maybe graded a little bit easier, but they're not going to be altered. So that's kind of what you're getting. At the end of the day, like it's the card in the case that matters the most, and you have to do your due diligence on the card itself. But that's kind of where what you're getting with like what you should keep in mind with new cert, old cert, um, and like another thing that I'll add too is that like there's so much like strange discourse over like what is the new cert. Like right now we're in 1-2 cert and that's the new cert, and now the 9 cert's the old cert.
Yeah, I think it's lost its luster a little bit because we jumped to that 100 milli cert. I think once we kind of like got baked into this new 100 milli cert, that idea has kind of fallen off a little bit. It's still very active, and people are constantly pushing the fact that it's a new cert. And I'm 100% on board with what you're saying. I think that I actually just recorded a video today talking about you buy the card, not the grade, because it's really easy to pick up a 10 and be like, oh, it's a 10. And it doesn't matter the company, right? You're just, and a lot of collectors do that. Like, you've probably seen it at your booth more than once, right? And we never know where these grading companies are going to end up. The big three could be a different big three down the road. I'm not betting on that happening. There's a lot of up and comers that are doing things different and trying to break the norms and, make space for themselves. But I think that it's important to know that your card is as a true 10, no matter what company it is. And each of these companies, they have different takes on what a 10 is or what qualifies a 9 or and so forth. But if you're able to make sure that your cards that you're collecting, that you want to make sure that they maintain their value no matter what piece of plastic they're in. And so I can't say enough that I've literally seen people pick up a 10 and not even look at the back of the card to know, okay, some random person graded this making $20 an hour, and it could have a bunch of white dots and edge wear and it still hit a 10 because that grader was lazy that day. And if you were to try to transfer that to another grading company down the road, you might be kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah, the human element, like it's all over the place, and
Do you think it's needed? Do you
yeah,
think I do too?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Because it just shows like how vast like the space can be. And it's just purely from like a discourse perspective. Like on one end, like you said, there are people who only buy the label
Yeah.
and like that's all they want.
Yeah.
And then there are people who will like drive cert discourse and just say like, oh, the PSA is grading much harder now. It was much easier back then when they probably weren't grading back then.
Yeah.
Because like nowadays, like I'll get new certs back in my subs. I'm like, how'd this 9? How'd this 10? How'd this 8?
Yeah.
And it's like vice versa too. It's like,
Yeah.
how did this 5? Like, this is really clean. So it goes both ways. Ultimately,
and you learn from those, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe it got a 5 for the right reason, but you didn't catch it, and you got to accept that. Like, I think it's really easy to point blame at the grading company that it didn't get the grade that you anticipated.
exactly.
But if you actually like sit with the card, look at it under different lighting, you might be able to find out why it got the grade that it got. And if a card does get a 10 and you saw that it shouldn't have, that's something to be mindful of too when you're grading, and be a little bit more comfortable sending stuff that you're maybe indifferent about on getting a 10 or a 9. I need to probably take that into consideration, because like I'm really picky about what I send to PSA, and even me being as picky as I am, I still end up, catching L's here and there, right? And the biggest thing about grading for me is, especially for new people, is don't get discouraged with it. Like, you find people that get their first sub back and it's totally wrecked, and they're just like, oh, I'm never grading again with this company, and they try again with another company and it's a better experience. But you never know. There's so many factors and variables that go into grading that you can send the same card over and over again to all these different companies, and you might get different responses.
Yeah, people are just not. They just complain when they don't get happy. Like when their 10 gets a 9.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, if you're so convinced that your card is a 10, or it's whatever, or it should have been whatever grade it should have, you think it should have been, crack it and resend it. Like, put your money where your mouth is.
Speaking of grading, so you're doing this full time, correct?
Yeah.
And you travel to almost every Collecticon?
No, not every Collecticon. I like
you cut down a little bit, right? This year?
Yeah. Last year I did more Collecticons than this year. Like, at the end of last year, they announced the Collecticon dates for 2025, and they're like twice as many dates. I think 18 Collecticon dates. And when I was planning 2025, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to half of the Collecticons. And then now that we are approaching the end of this year, I think I've only gone to, this weekend will be 4.
Wow.
And then if I get a section at the second LA Collecticon, thank you for mentioning it. The time
literally
we got
like 2 days before Christmas, they're having a Collecticon in LA.
So
secondary.
if I can get tables for that, I'll be doing 5. So I'll
Okay.
only be doing half of what I expected to do.
I'm really depressed that you're not doing card party. He was originally. You had tables, correct?
Yeah, I had tables for Seattle, but I sold them.
Yeah. So you vend full time. Back to grading. How many cards do you find yourself grading a month?
So I don't grade every month, actually.
I know Sandin does.
Yeah. Sandin does. He's a buddy of mine. We vend together, and he has, and not only him, but a lot of people who do like the grading pipeline kind of playbook, is they'll do like 100, 200, X number of cards per month.
Yeah. And keeping in that on rotation so that
they
you
always
have a
have
sub
something
coming back.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't do that, actually. I just send cards when I can.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like with life and existing
Well, also,
supply.
I would say, yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
wanted to get to the supply aspect, because Sandin, he has his own strategy, and it's with more Japanese modern, but he does a lot of sequential stuff.
Yeah.
And he does some mid-era, some vintage here and there, but like his niche is sequential illustration rares of, like, say, the starters or from 151 or anything that has a connected art between the two. He tries to do sequential sets of multiple sets of those.
Yeah,
because
and it's like the affordable stuff.
It's affordable stuff, and you also have affordable stuff too. You have a range between raw and graded, but I will at some point put up on the video just some of Jason's recent submissions, and I think a lot of those that are interested in Japanese will definitely appreciate it. He hit some really cool cards, some stuff that you see at a lot of shows, but like some stuff you definitely don't see often. And like, why do you find yourself in such a niche lane, and what What about it draws you to those cards?
It's just what I like.
There you go.
I think at its core, for me, I have what is like generally coined in collector spaces as like addictive personality. I will go down rabbit holes if I take an interest into something, and I'll spend hours to try to learn as much as possible about it, try to unearth like new things that maybe most people wouldn't
Yeah.
know. And this goes for like my hobbies outside of Pokemon, but when I first got started 5 years ago with just like cards, and this was during COVID and lockdowns. Are you getting it? Is COVID like not a word you can use
Wait, why?
during? Because
It's-
like during on YouTube they like
Oh no, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're no. I mean,
You
we
can,
made
you
it.
can
We made
cut
it.
it out,
Yeah,
too.
we made it.
during
no.
lockdown.
Yeah.
We were all at home. Like I had gotten laid off from my job, my tech job, so I was like, oh, I got nothing to do, so like might as well go through like old Pokemon cards that I had, and like obviously around that time, like that there was a content wave at the time, so I think like everybody else, I got really into just like watching the pack openings at
Yep.
the time, and slowly got back into it. And at the time, like I was really into anime, so I really connected with full art trainers. So that's how I got started of like the rabbit hole of like going a little bit deeper every time. And then when I started grading, my very first submission was actually a lot of English. It
Okay.
was like 500 cards of English that went to
And when did you submit this?
during $9 grading with ZNG Gem Mint grading.
Wow.
It was a middleman service that
Throwback,
got backed
yeah.
up, and I did my own PSA sub too, and that was $10, and like we'd all kill for that rate now. But during that time, like I was grading all this English, and it was tough. Like the conditions were pretty rough, so like the alternative at the time was Japanese. Japanese was the cheaper alternative back then. So it was like, okay, like I can buy like 5 copies of the same card
Yep.
in Japanese and they'll 10.
Yeah.
I was like,
Sounds like you just found a cheat code.
yeah. It felt like almost like a get rich quick scheme that I feel like a lot of people are like falling into now with like the bottom of the barrel like McDonald's stuff.
Yep.
And that's kind of like the playbook that like new people just like fall into.
Yeah, and that's something I actually want to talk about. So I asked you, why has this been your niche, and it's because it's what I like.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that want to start vending, including me. I mean, we've talked about this. You've been pushing me to
Yeah.
vend over and over.
Peer pressure.
I have a ton of cards that I'm playing
Yeah.
that are at PSA right now. I have like over 200 cards just waiting to be graded that I plan to sell. So I'll be vending soon. And something I have learned from you is
He's been saying that for months now.
it's happening, y'all. I promise, it's happening. I'm taking the right steps. Let's just say that. But what I want to get at is that you have kind of curated your own lane in vending, and it's because you enjoy these cards. And I think what you're saying is that a lot of the new people that are chasing the hype, want to make quick flips, are going after what everyone else is going after. And that's not to say that they might not like some of this stuff, but I think in order for the longevity of it, you have to be buying and selling things that you like. And that's how I've seen you be so successful, because of that reason alone. It's very easy to just start vending and grading the same stuff everyone else is, but you don't stick out. You lose all color, and you're kind of just put in that category with everyone else. And without sounding, I mean, this is gonna sound kind of mean, you're kind of forgettable, because unless that you have that personality that someone remembers you, they're gonna remember what you had at your table. They're gonna remember the interaction that they had with you, of course, but they'll be like, oh, they enjoy the same sort of stuff that I do. And I'm sure you have regulars now that come to you for the types of cards that you bring to the table and you offer at these shows.
Yeah, I'm honestly like very fortunate that like over the last year and a half, well, I've been vending for 2 years now, but starting from last year, and this was especially for the LA shows, like anything in SoCal, like people would come to my table, and then the next time they would buy something from me, have a great conversation, and just like talk about what they're collecting and what they're looking for next. And then obviously just kind of like the formalities of like, oh, can I follow you on Instagram, hit you up later. But what surprised me was at shows in the future in SoCal specifically, those same people would come back to my table. And like every show, there's like maybe 10-ish people that come by like every time to like seek me out. And it's not to buy something every time, it's just to see what I have. And like it means a lot. Like even if they don't buy anything, like it just like I really appreciate it when people just say like, hey, I really like the stuff at your table, or this is the best table that I've seen, and they don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
But just like that kind of confirmation alone,
It keeps
is
you
like
going.
more enough.
Yeah,
more
no,
than enough.
definitely. All right, so we've talked about the type of cards that you buy and sell, but what do you collect?
What do I collect? Is this the unveiling?
This is, well, yeah, we can talk. Yeah, exactly. So I will link Jason's YouTube channel in the description, and there's there's some goodies in there, and he actually just completed an entire set that I don't think a lot of people have been able to do. If they do, there's not that many, because some of these cards are really low pop, from my understanding.
So as of maybe last month, I don't think the pop on this specific card has gone up. I didn't bring it with me, but I'll talk about it. There can only be 8 or even 7.
Complete
7
sets.
or 8 complete sets, because this one card only has a pop 8 of PSA 10.
And who knows if one of those were cracked?
Yeah, and it's a graveler. So I'm only one of 8 that has that in a PSA 10. So in order to complete a full 153 card set, you need the graveler, amongst other cards that are similar, like the ones that are just like right like more pop, but
Okay.
still low, like in the low teens.
Okay.
Like Diglett or Machop.
And what set are we talking about? Because there might be a lot of
Yeah.
people that don't know exactly what it is.
1997 Bandai Cardass.
Oof.
So
Here, I'll show
here,
that
yeah, you
close.
hold it.
I love this. This is one of the
Shout out
checklist-
Jodo Jake for the guard.
I did give him this guard. Yeah, shout out to Graded Guard. This is a checklist card, right?
Yes, it's a secret rare checklist cards for these two.
And on the back, can you tell them exactly what you're seeing on the back of these?
It's just a list of the cards numbered for the set.
For this set, and
Yeah.
there's
They released them in 2 parts, so
okay, so 2
that's
parts.
why the numbers are fragmented.
Got it.
But basically, on the front and the back,
These look fantastic in these, by the way.
They match the border.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into a few prisms of the starters.
Oof. Venusaur, PSA 10. So, is it true that Ken Sugimori illustrated all of these? Is that
It's
the case?
disputed now.
It's disputed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I thought I heard something about
Yvonne
that.
sent me the E4 link about, and then that it was not an easy read. There's just a lot going on.
Ugh.
But it's very likely now that like the illustrations were done by like a third party or just somebody internally at Bandai. But that's what's like really fascinating about the space, is that like even 31 years later, we're still like learning about all this stuff.
You could check out the backs too, because they have like Pokedex like entries on the back, right?
Yeah. So like the front is the Pokemon's name in Japanese. So it's a mixture of like katakana, hiragana, kanji.
And people should note that these are stickers.
Yeah.
These are sticker cards.
Which makes them that much more difficult to grade.
My favorite, the Gogh.
Blastoise.
You actually sold me the 9.
We gotta get you a 10 set now.
Yeah, these are fantastic. So those are the starters, and then we have. Now this Pikachu is interesting because it does look a little different from the Pikachu we've come to grow up with, right?
It's got the white belly.
Yeah, it's the white belly Pikachu. Probably early design ideas. Regardless of whether or not Ken Sugimori illustrated these, what's really cool about these is that they're all doing their like special attack.
Yeah, it's like
right?
a signature attack.
Yeah, like a signature attack. I love it. Oh, is this the celebration? Is it confetti?
Yeah, confetti guard.
This looks good on this
Yeah.
one. Okay, and
I've got 2 more.
oh,
too.
let's do
Yeah.
it.
So these are here. You hold one up too.
Okay.
These are 5th anniversary Pokemon Go stickers, actually. And what drew me to these is I mentioned earlier that I used to consume like an obscene amount of anime. And these artworks, this isn't like a full set, but these two in particular were drawn by pretty prominent artists that are associated with either very famous studio.
Wow.
So this one, Sushio, this is Studio Trigger, so Gurren Lagann or Kill Kill, and you can see the exact same style as you would see on one of those shows, and it's
Very
got a
cool.
mixture of Pokemon and characters that match that style.
Yeah, a lot of motion. It's almost fisheye. I love it.
This one is Inio Asano, and this artist, I believe, did Girl on the Shore, which is a pretty avant-garde manga.
These are super cool. And are these tough to grade? Like how are these given out exactly?
So all I really know, I only like it because of the artwork, but I guess at that time it was the 5th anniversary of Pokemon Go, so some sort of like
Pokemon Go and
collaboration for the 5th anniversary.
that's super cool. I love that.
They're not they're not super easy to grade at this
I
point.
mean, they do have sharp corners like
Yeah.
sports cards, so I imagine there's some.
Like it's literally a sticker, so it's
Yeah.
super flimsy.
Very
and
cool. And did you grade these?
I graded these, so I bought them raw from Japan, and like I couldn't believe I was spending like $40 on a sticker.
What's the last few cards you have here?
Last few are
his bread and butter right
PSA
there.
9 CoroCoro Mew, PSA 10 Hoopa, and these are gonna be quick. PSA 6 Mewtwo Gold Star. The reason why I brought these out today was these are eBay sales, so they're gonna go out.
Nice.
They're gonna go out today, and just like part of like discussion is that like I had them priced for a show and they didn't sell at the shows. They might have for the right buyer, but
They were able to move on eBay.
yeah, they sold on eBay, and these are all in the last 24 hours.
So what's your vending full time? So what's your? I mean, obviously you're selling on eBay. What's your thoughts on selling on eBay as a vendor? And how is it important for you and your business?
Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about this. Like we've talked about this before. Even if you vend, you should also have another selling channel. Vending is a very active way to sell. Like you have to physically be at the show. Buyers.
It's definitely a more social
Yes,
interaction
yes.
for as far as
That's
the
the
business.
great thing about vending. You get to meet all these people, but like you are limited to the amount of people that come to a show, and you just have to. It's almost like RNG. You have to. Somebody has to come to your table, happen to want what you have, and be willing to pay the price that you want, all while you like sacrifice your weekends
Yep.
to do this. And not that I don't regret like doing vending, like as like doing all these shows. Like this weekend's gonna be the last show of an 8-weekend stretch.
You're
for
going
me.
where exactly?
Atlanta.
Atlanta Collecticon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kind of back to the whole eBay thing is that like if you put in the work to list your inventory on eBay, that like those are passive sales. Like you just do the work to post it and you forget about it.
Yeah.
Like once something sells, all you do is pack it up and drop it off at the post
No,
office
it's
and you're done.
Pretty simple. Yeah, definitely. Get yourself one of those heat. What is it? The heat printers. The
Yeah, thermal
The
printer.
thermal printers.
Like you get a worldwide customer base as well. Like there's a lot of discourse about like why eBay fees are so evil, like 13%.
But you
eBay
think about
fees.
how many faces it puts it in front of your
Yeah,
cards.
your
That you wouldn't.
exposure.
Your exposure is key.
I happily pay 13% eBay fees for like 20 million impressions on all your listings.
I think the other benefit is just having that social presence. Like for me, I have my YouTube, I have my Instagram, and I have a small eBay that I've sold a few cards here and there.
I'm so
but-
proud of you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I sold a few cards. But I think it's about like having that social presence for the trust aspect, knowing that your face is out there and you're willing to put that on the line to make sure that you have you're making sure that you're giving a customer experience what they're asking for.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
So, no, yeah, that's been great. I will show off some of my cards. Nothing super crazy.
He hasn't showed me. It's a surprise.
Yeah. So I
I
brought
see
this.
English.
Yeah, this is all English. Sorry, but this was
Ooh.
one of my first cards that in my first ever PSA submission. It's the Plasma Storm Shiny Blastoise. At the time that I sent this was the only Shiny Blastoise that existed in the entire Pokemon TCG. And what's cool about this card is that I bought it from someone on OfferUp that I became friends with that lived in Florida. I mentioned this in another Cards and Coffee video, but him and I just stayed in touch. He was really into turtles, not just Squirtle and the evolution line, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and so forth. And I had this sitting in my collection for the longest time, and I was like, I really want to grade this. It's a really nice copy, and what's problematic about this set is that the two shinies, the two secrets from this set are always off center. Specifically the Charizard, it's literally nearly always off center. Shout out to Harrison. I know he has the 10, I believe, which is it's a tough card to have. But yeah, I'm a Blastoise stan. This is a must, and knowing that it got the grade that I expected just validated my pre-grading. Next up is a recent pickup, and this is the Dragonair, Erica's
Yes,
Dragonair.
yes.
It's one of my favorite Gym Heroes cards. I'm not like the biggest like trainer like collector, but these old Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge cards, just specifically this one, just really resonates with me. So I had to have it on the glow in the dark. I think it looks really good with this one.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. The color matches.
Yeah, it's really
They
close.
don't make this color anymore, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm hoping they bring it
It
back.
matches perfectly.
There's a few. I think
Yeah.
even the Bubble Mew would look pretty good with this one. And then lastly, probably one of the more niche cards that I have in my collection.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is the only
that
BGS
holo's
card.
crazy.
Yeah, so there's a fun, interesting aspect to this card. So this is the only BGS card that I have. It's a BGS 9. It has centering 9, corners 9, edges 9.5, surface 9.5. But what's cool about this is a Delta species card, but it's not what you typically see in terms of foiling with Delta species cards. This was part of Pop Series 4, and in the Pop Series 4 set, it's just a non-holo.
I've never seen this card before.
Really?
You learn something new every day.
Oh,
you,
wow.
You
So-
live and breathe this all day, like 'cause I know.
Yeah, I know. What's really
Japanese.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, what's really cool about this is Delta species is typically with the hollow border, and
Yeah.
the Pokemon has the reverse hollow pattern, right?
Yeah.
The thing about this one is that it's not that way. It's a Cosmo reverse, and it's just the Pokemon. It's the only Cosmo reverse hollow Delta species. I believe it's the only Cosmo reverse hollow from this era. So it's a really special and unique promo. And this, I believe, came in a blister pack, if I remember correctly. So anytime you see a Pop Series hollow, it didn't come from the Pop Series packs. Every single card in Pop Series is non-hollow, so you can't weigh them. There's literally not a hollow in any of the packs.
Yeah, look at that hollow.
So if you see Pop Series hollows, they came from a collection box of some sort. And this is just a special card. I probably won't ever cross it, only because it's like a Pop 2 in BGS 9. It's not about the pop, it's just the rarity aspect
Yeah.
that I really enjoy. And I think the silver label looks nice with this card. But yeah, it's one of my more niche cards in my collection that I got for a really good price.
Yeah, this is
so-
insane. I've never seen like a hollow covering the Pokemon like
Yeah.
that. Too. Imagine if there was a swirl here.
Oh my gosh,
for the
yeah.
swirl collectors.
Definitely.
What's your lowest on this?
I could just like throw any numbers in the sky at this point. But yeah, no, this is a really cool card. I know it's a higher pop in PSA, and I was looking at PSA. I don't know what they're going for now.
Or I don't even talk to you. I just pull out my phone and
Yeah,
alt it.
I alt it. I'll give you 80%
Yeah.
comps. Yeah, so that was fantastic. I think that went really well. This was my first guest. I'm so excited to finally have someone else to talk about
honored.
Pokemon with.
Lucky and honored.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sure that I link Jason's YouTube, his Instagram, his eBay in this this video. Make sure to go subscribe to him, add him on eBay as a favorite seller, and make sure to follow him on Instagram. Jason, again, thank you. I'm sure we'll do this again soon enough. And good luck in Atlanta. And
Thank you.
Yeah. Any last words for the viewers?
Subscribe to Jodo Jake at Card Party in Seattle. Get his autograph while you can on a card.
I need to practice.
That's investment advice. That's financial advice because it's gonna go way
Oh,
up.
boy.
And then
Inflate my ego, y'all.
Yeah, and comment like if you're interested in the Deoxys, comment, ask him what his lowest is.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jason. Appreciate you, brother. Until next time, y'all. Happy collecting. Peace.